Are you making some of the same mistakes we made in the beginning of our relationship? If we had these answers, we would have done things differently. Hello, good people. Welcome to Love Lessons, where love is intentional and relationships are built to last. My love, what will we be discussing today?
Well, today we're going to continue. Last week we began answering questions that we received across our multiple platforms on relationship. And it's surprising and amazing how people have different views when it comes to love questions. And that just goes to show that all of us approach it differently. Our past experiences is what shapes our ideologies and our belief about relationships. So with that said, our disclaimer today will be you don't have to do what we say, but this is our personal experience. This is what we have learned over the years. This is what we have practiced. This is what has worked for us. And I hope that maybe you would take into consideration that some of these answers can help you as well.
I love that, my love. Absolutely. Looks like it was Sarah who gave us this question from TikTok.
Wow.
And her question was, what does respect look like in a relationship?
What does respect look like
in a
relationship?
Yes.
Wow, that's a loaded question.
It is.
It's a loaded question. Respect. Some people don't need the same thing as others.
True.
For me, I think respect will be to hear me, see me as an individual.
I like that.
Respect my autonomy, respect my humanity. Don't diminish my value or dismiss me in any type of way. I think respect is about being loyal in the relationship.
That's
respect
good.
is not compromising me or putting me in a position where I have to look stupid.
Oh, that's good.
That's respect for me. Valuing your partner, me valuing you, valuing me. That's
Absolutely.
What respect has to do with trust. I don't want you to have to be insecure because I'm giving you all the reasons to feel like I'm moving dirty.
Moving dirty.
Respect.
Yeah, I got you.
I respect you enough to conduct myself with integrity, with honor,
Absolutely.
with class. That's what respect is to me.
I love that, my love.
Yeah.
I think that we have a lot of the same things in common.
Value,
I
yes.
think values.
Yes,
Perfect. Thank
yes.
you, my love. See how you just
I told you we're twins.
Twinsies. But babe, also what I've learned too is in a respectful relationship, there are boundaries that are set.
Yes.
And so we've talked about this on numerous podcasts, but that is also important, I think, in a healthy relationship, are boundaries where we respect each other's boundaries and others respect the boundaries within that relationship.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, I have seen that be a huge thing in relationships as well.
Yeah.
In marriages, sometimes you can have in-laws who don't respect boundaries, or siblings or friends. And so I think that's important as well when we talk about respect, that we are looking at our relationship. And when I say that, how he said, this is just what works for us. It doesn't necessarily work for everybody, but having those boundaries within your relationship and respecting your partner.
You know, the great Aretha Franklin says, RESPECT. Yeah. And what I love about the song is she says, find out what it means to me.
Look at you.
Which tells me then that respect is not a matter of your opinion, what you think respect is. Because some people do some really low down things and they think it's being respectful. Well, at least I didn't do it. I didn't go all the way. I didn't cheat.
I'm not cheating, right?
You know what I'm saying?
I entertained.
It's just inboxes, and they see that as, oh, I'm still being respectful. No, don't respect me based on what you think respect is.
That's a boundary that's been crossed.
Find out what respect means to me.
Oh, I like that, babe.
Find out. I don't love me for what you want me to be.
Right.
Find out what I want. Find out what makes me happy. Find out what respect looks like to me, because it may look different than what you think.
Oh my God, I love that, babe.
Yeah.
And I think what's also important too, I'm sorry, I just love that.
Yeah.
I do, because I think men and women are definitely different. But I think for women, and I'm speaking from my personal, I know men are really big on respect. Respect me as a husband, respect me as a man, respect me as a father. And I think women, our respect is different. We just want you to respect what we bring to the table, respect who we are as women, as the women in your life,
right?
How important that is to you. You know what I mean? I love to see a man who loves the right way. And what I mean by that is his partner, his wife, his fiance, his girlfriend, she's safe with him because she knows that he's going to honor her and respect her in such a way that it speaks volumes. You understand what I'm saying? And so even respect also, babe, can be courteous.
Yeah.
Like, I'll never forget, this was many, many years ago. I'll never forget, we were getting in the car to go somewhere, and a neighbor of ours saw you open my door.
Right. I remember.
You see what I'm saying? So for some couples, that's important.
Yeah.
You opening up car doors, just being respectful, being a gentleman,
Yeah.
pulling out my chair. I think that's also a level of respect in a relationship, if that is what you have said.
Yes.
I think that's important too.
I believe it also includes how you speak to people.
Absolutely.
I believe at no time do you diminish or do you belittle or do you talk down to the individual, because I found that it works both ways. A man can diminish a woman can belittle a man with her mouth.
Absolutely.
So we got to be mindful. You don't intentionally assassinate each other's character. You don't intentionally beat each other down. You don't hit below the belt intentionally, trying to bring them down, trying to provoke or to trigger them, trying to get a rise out of them. That's not respect. Good. Respect is I have discipline. Respect is I have boundaries. There's a limitation that I'm just not going to do or say. I'm not going to call you out of your name. This is what I said. I said, you were God's daughter before you were my wife.
Absolutely.
And so I have to treat you with that in mind. Mm-hmm. That this is not just another woman in my life. I have God's daughter in my life. I have to take care. I have to treat. I have to speak to in a certain type of way. And if I am ever out of order, you always correct. You always let me know what you like and what you don't like. Is based on being able to know the person and finding out what the person wants. So you don't assume that you know what they're like. All right.
You know what, babe? On the subject, but off the subject, because you saying that, it triggered something. I think also for women, like you said, if your husband, if your spouse, if he truly trusts you and has been vulnerable with you, we can't cut you with our words because we know you in a deep way. Wow. And we would know how to hurt you.
Yeah.
And I have learned as a wife never to do that.
Never do that.
I've learned how to hold my tongue because I did not do that in past relationships.
Wow.
And what I mean, I'm not saying that I have no autonomy, that I don't have a voice, that I feel like I can't say anything because of your personality. People thought that. People really were like, you don't have a voice in your marriage. And I'm like, yes, I do.
Yeah.
But what I have learned, babe, is that, like you said, I was God's daughter before I was your wife, and you were God's son before you were my husband.
And your
therefore, absolutely, my phone. You sure you want to borrow my phone?
I need to find a scripture real quick.
But seriously, my love, and what I have learned as a wife is how to bridle my tongue. I have learned that. I have learned because sometimes you'll say something slick, and I'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna let him have that. Or vice versa. Or I've even learned sometimes where I'd be like, Portia, you know what? You're doing too much. Pull that back. Pull it back.
Wow, that's wisdom.
I think that's also, that goes right into what we've discussed before about having those boundaries, having that level of respect. What you got, my love?
I'm looking at Proverbs chapter 14, verse 1-3. This is what it says. Every wise woman builds her house. I believe it's with the wisdom.
That's true.
You build your house with wisdom. But a foolish, I'm noticed referring to a woman,
tears it down, right?
Pluck it down with her own hands. Right? And then I'm just paraphrasing now. It says, in the mouth of the foolish is the rod of pride. There's pride. But the lips of the wise preserves them. See, when you are wise with your words, when you're careful, I'm not saying you walk on eggshells.
Right.
And as you said, you don't have any autonomy. No. In the words of Kenny Rogers, you just got to know when to hold.
Look at you.
You gotta know when to fold them, right?
Hey.
Just because you always said it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Just because you have the power to say it doesn't mean you should say it.
I agree.
So in marriage, in relationships, you have to practice restraints. You got to get your anger under control. You can't just verbally abuse and verbally assassinate the person in your life. Because I promise you, if you beat them down, somebody else is going to lift them up.
Oh, that's good.
I promise you, if you tear them down, don't talk down to her and expect her to look up to you. It's not going to work.
at Stefan the philosopher. Go on, babe. That was good. No, but you're right.
Yeah.
And I think also for women, because we are emotional, because I think when a woman is being verbally abused, I think that that can be some of the worst abuse because we already deal with so many things. You have to look at the world that we live in, right? I mean, if you're looking at social media and you're looking at the world and how it views beauty or
Right.
whatever it is, you see what I'm saying? Sometimes you can find yourself comparing yourself, and then to have a spouse who is knocking you down, who is negative, and sometimes it's vice versa. I
Right.
don't want to just make it seem like it's just men.
Complaining all the time.
Yeah. And I think that goes right into our next question because Brianna on Facebook, she inboxed me and she was like, "How do y'all handle conflict?" I'm like, "Oh, that's
Okay.
a great question."
But one thing we're not going to do is we're not going to lie and say that we haven't had conflict.
Correct.
All right.
Absolutely.
I think we have grown over the years because you always said this is what we're fighting over much greater than the love we have for each other.
That's right.
So when we weigh it out, is it worth even fighting over?
That's good, babe.
Is it worth it?
That's good.
It's not worth it. So why are we keeping this up? Why are we fighting? Or why are we arguing? It's okay to have disagreements. It's okay to have a difference of opinion, but is it worth destroying the relationship over? No.
It's not.
It's
and
not.
I think for me, babe, in the beginning, and I'm talking about early in our marriage, it wasn't about necessarily being right, but it was about being heard. And I think that anybody who knows us knows that you're very outgoing, but you have a very dominating personality. And I think that also I felt like, man, if I don't speak up, I'm going to disappear in this marriage. But that was never the case because you always gave me my voice. Do you understand? But because of the relationships that I came out of, I'm thinking, man, I've got to have the last word. I got to be right. And it wasn't worth it.
But sometimes, babe, all it took was a conversation.
Correct.
All it took was you saying, hey, you said this. I didn't really like the way you said it.
Right.
I don't like what you said.
Right. This is how it made me feel.
Now, this is where the respect factor comes in. If I know that me saying something or even me doing something as funny as you do not like us putting water in the soap bottle after.
Listen to me. I hate that.
Trigger for.
I hate to go to somebody's house and they have put water in the soap dispenser. Listen, throw the whole bathroom away.
So at first, I thought it was the funniest thing. And so I would intentionally put water in it and it would really trigger her. Like she really would be upset about that. So once I understood that this was something that was causing her pain or frustration, whatever it was, because I love her and because I want to protect her, I decided I'm not going to do that anymore. Right. It's not worth it. It's a matter of respect. It's a matter of respect.
No, that's exactly what it is.
And it might seem like something simple to another person. I might be like, this is so petty. Why would you have a problem with water being put in this? Yeah. But it doesn't matter what I think in this case.
Right.
My partner, my wife, doesn't like it. She considers it a disrespect when I do it. So why continue to do something that you know is hurting your partner, hurting your spouse? Why continue to do something that is disrespectful to them? It may not be disrespectful to you because you may have done it in your past. You may have been okay with it in your past relationships, but it doesn't mean that the person you're with right now is okay with it. So that's why you have conversations. That's why you communicate. You ask the right questions and you find out, what do you like? What makes you happy?
I totally agree, babe. I think healthy couples address problems. And that's not easy to do. And I'm not just saying that because it sounds good, but you do, because then what happens is it becomes this cancer in the relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it can become deadly. And then all of a sudden, before you know it, there's so much that has been unsaid. There's so much offense. And then this is something else that I have learned that the enemy does. You say you and I have had a disagreement. And this is what happens. This is what has happened in the past. I'll go do something, right? And then the enemy is just playing in my mind, saying all types of crazy stuff. This man don't love you. Just stuff that has absolutely nothing to do with what we are even disagreeing about. But I've learned that that is what happens. Then what happens is the enemy isolates you two. And then during all this conflict, instead of you looking at each other and say, you know what? At the end of the day, we are a team. And like you said before, is it about being right or is it about this relationship? Do we love each other more than we love being right?
Right.
And I think that's important when you talk about conflict.
I remember, babe, and I'm going to bring up a story.
I like story time.
All right. I want to get to the answer of that question. How do we handle conflict? Okay. Now, one thing we do know, if there's a disagreement, if it's heated, we call it heated because we don't have throwdown arguments. In fact, we don't. Once again, I said we do not talk to each other. We don't call each other out of our names. We don't yell.
We don't do that.
I can't stand that, right? But if we have a disagreement where we're heated in the moment and we have a difference of opinion, we know that a conversation is coming. We know that.
Yeah.
We don't play, I'm just going to put it under the carpet and just pretend like it didn't happen.
No, not at all.
We don't play that. You're not going to have disagreement and not have a conversation to resolve the issue. So we know that's
right. And what has worked for us, because it allows us to work through the conflict. And you say, well, you know what? That offended me. I remember we were doing some shooting and I accidentally, this was something he had been working on and I thought he was joking. And we were recording and he was in the zone and I bust out. I'm laughing through the whole entire recording. And he was so livid. And he was like, I had been working on weeks on that delivery and it was perfect, but I ruined it because I laughed through the entire recording and you were 38 hot. You know?
I think I shut it down after
you
that.
did. You were like, I'm done. And you went to bed.
Yeah.
And so I came in a little later. I think I sat on the couch for about an hour because I was like, he hot. So let me sit out here because it's cold in that room. I was like, let me go sit out here. But I came in and I apologized. And I had to do it more than once because you were very disappointed. But it really was a misunderstanding. I thought you were goofing around and you were being very serious in the moment. And I ruined something that could have really been great. Right. And I felt bad. I'm like, oh, he was serious. But that rose conflict. And I'm instead of me saying, well, it was an accident. I didn't know. I didn't even take that approach because I was like, oh my God, babe, I'm so sorry. But I did. I waited about a good hour before I came in that room because I was like,
Yeah. Okay, so we did do that. And sometimes it get that way. Every once in a while.
Right.
And I wanted to share the story of when we first got married. And I think you bleached one of my shirts.
Oh, Lord, this is his favorite story.
No, it's because I think it was one of the first times that I ever realized that it's not worth being angry. See, because one of my ammunition in the past was I'll shut down and go silent on you. And that can be for days.
And see, with my abandonment issues,
you would take that as rejection.
Oh my God, I wouldn't be. If you didn't talk to me for days, I'd be depressed.
You would have received that as rejection.
As rejection, absolutely.
So here I go. You burnt my shirt. Okay,
I bleached it.
You bleached the shirt, and apparently I had some emotional attachment to the shirt
because his ex-boo thing had got him that shirt. Let's talk about that. But this your story. I'm sorry. Go ahead, babe. I'm sorry. This your story.
I wasn't gonna say all that.
Of course you wasn't, but I'm always at that part. But this your story. Go ahead, babe.
Okay, so it was a shirt that my ex bought me. My wife intentionally bleached it.
Now I want you to listen to how that sounds. A shirt that my ex bought me that my wife accidentally bleached. That sounds diabolical.
That I still had when I met her. But anyway, I was furious.
You wore that shirt the first day I met you.
I don't remember. I was furious, but I didn't attach the two things together. I didn't think that, boy, you had some ties to the shirt and that's why you acting that way.
Right.
I didn't think of that. I just thought this is a shirt that I actually liked.
You really did like the shirt.
But I was furious in about 15 minutes because I was in the corner. I was mad.
You were.
And I heard the Lord said to me, you got about 15 minutes before the enemy comes. And I understood that don't give no room to the devil.
That's what the word of God
says. Don't give no opportunity. Don't leave no space.
Absolutely.
Because with that, I'm mad. I'm in my corner. I'm shutting down. We're not speaking. Or somebody's speaking to you. I promise you. Somebody will be speaking to you and to your partner while both of you are mad and separated. We had to go and reconcile that quickly.
We did.
Right? And I learned from that. That was the first year of our marriage. And it's been 14 years.
13.
Well, we've been together for 14 years. But I'm saying it was a well-learned lesson.
I agree.
That's not the way you work in relationships. If you want to be married, that's not the way you conduct yourselves.
I agree.
You're in this together. This is not, I'm taking my corner and you go into your corner. We're not fighting each other. We're a team. And once I understood that, I knew that anything that came up, let's talk about it.
I hear you.
That's how we handle conflict. We talk about it. We listen.
That's right.
We value the other person's opinion. We don't come in having an answer already prepared. And this is what I think. And no, everybody's opinion matters.
I hear you.
And we have to value each person's opinion and find out, well, what is it, that you heard?
Right.
I didn't intend for it to come off that way. That's not what I actually meant. I think she had other situations where I said one thing and you took that as, he doesn't want me, right?
So, I'm in therapy. I'm working through it. But I agree because I think, babe, the way couples pair the relationship after conflict, that really predicts how healthy that relationship is going to be moving forward.
Yeah.
And I've learned that when you do find yourself in conflict, it really does come down to how you resolve it and how healthy you want to be, because we're two different people.
Right.
And let me tell you something. When you talk about marriage, you have two different people coming together as one, as the Bible says.
Two different opinions.
That's right. Two different opinions.
Two different backgrounds.
All of the above.
Yep.
Two different temperaments.
Yep.
And so what happens is that conflict is going to come, but it really does come down to how you resolve it.
How we handle it.
And how healthy the relationship remains after.
And sometimes people don't have the emotional intelligence to deal with conflict. And we can I'll talk about this. I may as well use this time, because we got some neighbors that don't have emotional intelligence.
My God, at all.
Everything at 3-4 o'clock in the morning is yelling to the top of their voices, slamming doors, and
fighting, cussing
every single day.
Yes.
No other way to communicate. And some people are like that. They're raised that way. They come into the relationship and being cantankerous, being loud and clamorous,
boisterous,
that they don't know any other way to resolve an issue.
That's good, my love.
Emotional intelligence is very important. To be able to sit down, to be able to listen, to be able to stop thinking you're always the one that's right. Only your opinion is right. No, in a relationship, you have to consider the other people's feeling, the other person's feeling. You have to consider their opinion. You're not the only one that is right. If that's the case, you need to be in a relationship by yourself. That's right. There's two people that matters. And so sometimes it would just take compromise. I might be right. I might be right, but hey, because I love you and I want my relationship with you,
I'll take one for the team.
I'll take one for the team. That's how that works.
Good. That's good. No, I totally agree, my love. I truly do. At the end of the day, like I said, you're going to have that conflict. But the question is, how do you resolve it? And you want to make sure that it does not damage the relationship to the point to where you don't recover.
Right.
You hear me?
Many relationships don't die. And I've seen people destroy relationships with their mouths.
That's true.
With their tongues, with their argument, with their anger, with shutting down and just silent treatment. And while you're doing all that, I told you, somebody else will be giving them the attention they want. Somebody else will be speaking to them.
That's right.
All right? That's probably what happened to Eve in the garden. Maybe she and Adam was angry with each other. Maybe
they had some conflict.
And then the serpent came and talked to her.
That could have been.
That could have been it. I don't know.
It could have been.
But many relationships have died, not because of a deadly weapon, not because of infidelity, but because of destructive words.
Absolutely.
That they shoot at each other, that they destroy and they hit and beat each other down and abuse each other. Something that was said, and many times things that shouldn't have never been said, should have never been said. Yeah, so we have to be careful that the little things that couple ignore, the little things in your relationship that you ignore, often becomes the big problem. That's one of the ways we resolve conflicts. We don't allow little things to become
big things.
Big things. I believe there's a cliche, that phrase that said that's the little fox that spoiled the vines.
Yeah.
Something of that nature. Yeah. And a little fox can do damage. That's the point. A little fox can do damage.
True.
And so if you don't deal with it, you don't resolve it, you don't acknowledge it, don't walk by the red flags and think it's going to resolve itself. It's not. Take the time to communicate, to talk, to sit down, to listen. We talked about this earlier on in an earlier episode where we mentioned how every once in a while we would go out for breakfast, we go out for lunch or dinner or whatever, and we would have this conversation. We would ask each other, are you pleased with me? What else can I do to become a better spouse, right? And I think that's necessary. So you don't assume that you're perfect and the other person is the problem.
That's good.
You're not perfect. I don't care how perfect you think you're not perfect.
And then I think also, babe, dealing with two different people, you handle conflict differently, right? Yeah. So some people, like you say, for instance, you got a hot-headed husband. Like for you need time and you need space.
Yeah.
That's what you need. I can't just come right after we've had conflict.
But like, not as much as I used to, though.
Yeah. No. But I'm saying you still...
Yeah. No, I'm saying I refuse to go a night.
Oh, no, definitely not that. But you just need time to process and things like that. So I think that's also important, making sure that your partner, just give them the time. If you have a partner who just needs some time and some space, but just make sure that you don't let that fester.
Right.
Because, oh God, it gets so bad when that happens. It really does. And I have seen great couples, who just refuse to acknowledge certain conflicts that they have in the marriage or the relationship because of fear.
Yeah. I don't want to be wrong. I like the idea of feeling that I'm right. And sometimes it can be manipulative. As long as I got you thinking I'm right and I got something over you. It's not about winning for us.
No.
It's not about winning a conflict or winning an argument.
Right.
No, it's not about that. I don't need to have one up on you
Right.
in order to feel like I'm the man, I'm the husband, or I'm right, or I won.
I hear you.
Is the relationship winning is the question.
Right. I
Because
love
why
that, babe.
you may be winning and the relationship might be dying in the
Oh, that's
process.
good.
Or don't sacrifice a relationship for your pride so you can walk around with your chest stick out. I'm right. I'm better than him. And you walk around self-righteous. No. Now check yourself as well as they should check themselves and the both of you together.
I love that.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Our friend Mary, our son's godmother, says that you can't clap back at it. You just have
I've
to hold
learned
your
that.
tongue. You got to do it.
I've really learned, and this is for women. I say this with love because I have seen it, and I have had to tell some of my friends, don't do that. Sometimes it is best to hold your tongue. There's been some stuff that has really troubled me, and I knew that if I brought it to you, that it would cause more conflict. And you know what I do instead? I take it to God. And then within a day or a week or so, you'll be like, babe, you know what? I realized this and this. And if that offended you or if that hurt your feelings, I apologize.
Yeah.
And that's the God's honest truth. You cannot clap back every time.
No.
You can't. You just can't. It's not healthy.
Once
it is
again,
not healthy.
You got to know what to hold. You gotta know when to follow. You gotta know when to walk away.
You gotta learn. Listen.
Know when to run. Hey, blame my dad for that. My dad.
I love that song.
I was raised watching The Gambler, watching Kenny Rogers. That's what my dad would watch all the time.
I love it.
So, but those are great lines to govern yourself by having a restraint and knowing when not to.
I agree. I totally agree.
Right.
My love. And the last question was, who usually apologizes first?
I know I'm not speaking for everyone because people are raised differently. They have different views and different perspectives. So therefore, they may be quicker. I was not one that was quick to apologize first. I grew up in a home. I grew up around men who love their pride, and they were not going to know.
That's honest.
They saw that as weakness. Right?
Men who love their pride.
They saw that as weakness. So you got to be a man. Nobody's gonna tell you nothing.
You can't take down.
Because I know everything. I'm always right. And so I was not quick to apologize in the beginning of our relationship. And because you have the mindset that you're perfect. You think you're perfect. You think that you don't make mistakes. You think that, and it's really a self-righteous attitude to have.
That's good, baby.
And I think it takes growth in God. It takes being able to listen to your partner, listen to your spouse, recognizing that all have sinned and come short. We all have flaws, right?
Listen.
And if it wasn't for God, we would all be a mess. And so with that, it made me compassionate. It made me more humble. And it made me recognize that, hey, at least take into consideration. How can you just knock down what a person is saying because you just think it's impossible for you to be wrong?
That's good.
No, you have to take into consideration what other people are saying and how they feel. And when you do that, you realize you will probably see where you have made some mistakes, where you maybe you said it wrong. Maybe you didn't do a good job at communicating it. All right. So my wife was always the first person to apologize first.
I think for me, babe, that was because conflict was just not something, it was just not a comfortable place for me. So even if I knew I was right, I'm saying, even use that as an example, even if I knew I was right, I still was like, you know what? This is my husband. I love him. I want peace in our home. And I'm going to apologize.
Now, I would say this though, babe. I can't let this go. My wife has always been a diplomatic person. I always said, if you can't get along with her, then you can't get along with anybody. She's always been a diplomatic person. I was always headstrong.
On 10.
Always on 10.
Always.
Actually on 12. Always ready to go. All right. And over the years, I don't know what happened. The role reversed. The role switched. I don't know how. I don't know. And I learned from her. Obviously, I learned from her, and her integrity, her character became a lesson to me on how she handled things with people. She said she didn't always say stuff just because she had to say it. And she was always diplomatic, looking for the good in people. Well, I didn't trust folks. And I said what I saw. I didn't care. I said whatever came to my mind and didn't care. I didn't care about people's feelings. I didn't care. And so over time, God had to really soften my heart and watching my wife as an example. And then I found myself becoming like her. So I turned into a diplomatic person. And now she's on 12.
No, it's really bad. I'll never forget. This was some months ago, earlier this year. I pull up to a location and someone that I can say I was offended by, I thought that they were in this place, right? So I call you and I'm going off. and you're like, babe, calm down. You don't know why they're there. You don't know what's going on. Relax. It might not even be what you think.
Right.
And I'm going off and off. And you did have to calm me down. I don't know, babe. I just think maybe a decade with you.
So she toughened up and she got real,
yeah, that's
real
what
tough.
it is. I had to toughen up.
No nonsense person. And then here I am, who used to be the no nonsense person.
You
now
so diplomatic. You really are diplomatic.
I'm looking for the peaceful way.
Babe, it might not even be that.
Right.
You got to look at it from a different perspective.
So that happens.
You make me better, my love.
Yeah. I think the stronger person in the relationship, babe, is the person who pursues peace, the person who says, let's resolve this, the person who says, let's fix this. Because once again, the relationship must mean more to me than being right.
I love that.
If all I care about is being right, then I'm not going to consider your feelings. I'm not going to consider the relationship. All I want is make my point. A conversation can't be about just making your point. There are two people in a relationship, and each person has value.
Right.
So whatever you're saying, I should sit down and take that into consideration.
And I thank you for doing that. But it took time. This is year 15.
Yeah.
So it's not a walk in the park. It's not easy. But I think as you grow and as you mature in your emotions and in your feelings, and you can understand the importance of having a healthy relationship.
Right.
And when conflict occurs, it doesn't destroy you. It strengthens you.
That's true.
Awesome. So good people, we love and appreciate each and every one of you.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. And remember that love is a daily decision. So keep learning, keep growing, and keep choosing love. We'll see you next week.